Welcome back, folks, to fly fishing with me, Ed. Another fantastic day down at Withern Trout Farm. So we're going to see how we get on. I've got myself a new microphone because my audio has been pretty poor. I think I've been let down by the AirPods. So we're going to try this new mic, see how we get on. We've just tied on a dog nobbler, so a little bit different to what we're used to fishing with. Tried it out recently at Cleatham. Technology is great, but only as good as the operator. So there's not much footage from Cleatham. So we're going to try and work something from there and hopefully upload that. But back at Withern today, lovely day, sun's out, new shades out, and the weather's looking great. It is a little bit windy, but it allows a little bit better. It's just a lovely setting. Allows a little bit better water when it's a little bit sort of breezy on top rather than it being a bit of a mill pond. So we're going to get casting out and see how we get on. We're the only one here today, so I don't feel as ridiculous chatting to you guys. But we'll see how we get on. Hopefully some upcoming footage of some fish being caught and getting some successful catches on the bank. Seeing lots of fish milling around, especially down here at my feet on Lake 3 here. But nothing rising yet. So we're going to stick with subsurface and see how we get on. And hopefully, give you an update soon of some fish on the bank. But who knows? Right, guys, Lake 3. Just missed that fish jumping out there. Lake 3, first fish of the day on the old dob nobbler. Or dog nobbler, as it should be more likely called. But first fish of the day, only a little one. Best get him unhooked and get him back. Cracking little fish, really convincing take. Maybe the new black fly is the dog nobbler. Get him back, off he goes, and give you a quick showdown of what we've just caught him on. So after the first fish, successful release, I'm just going to show you a little, if I can get the camera to focus, a little dog nobbler fly that we're fishing on, just subsurface. Just dragging it along steady, and I don't know if you can see, probably can't. There's a couple of fish just milling around on the edge of the water here, so best get back into them. Would you believe it, guys? We've come down to Lake 4, and there's really promising looking fish, all in this bit of slack water where the wind blocked. You're going to see them ringing up. And hell of a cast just into the bottom of this island here, but unfortunately the fly has got caught. The dog nobbler is no more. It got caught in this tree. I've pulled it out, and fly is no longer attached. We've got to tie on a new bit of leader, pick a new fly. So the dog nobbler is not to be the new black fly. So we're gonna have to pick something else and see how we get on. But the fish are within the first 2 foot of water. Come on. There's plenty of flies about. One just tried to attack me. So we'll give it another go and we'll see how we get on. We just got to pick from the old fly boxes and see what we've got. I'm just sat here contemplating which fly to tie on, because we've got a vast selection, and half of them I don't know the names of, and I'm not really sure what half of them are for. The old box of favourites here, so maybe something out of there. Some more sort of larger flies and some sort of lures working there. But the decision's been made a bit tougher because fish have just started really leaping out and surfacing, particularly over in that corner next to that willow tree, and also in front of me here. So I need to have a little think and a look around to see what we're going to tie on. But we'll have a think. We'll have a bit of a guess, because that's what we do best here, and see what we get on. So I've decided to go for another subsurface, black and green Montana, and try that out. While we're here, and we're not fishing at the minute, before we cast out again, I want to say that I've given up on the old nail knots onto fly line, and I bought these from Leader, slip-on loops, sort of like braided loops for your fly line. So it makes tying on a new leader a lot easier. So yeah, joined the modern era of welded loops as such, just not into the actual fly line. They slip on with a heat shrink. And so far, so good. Let's see if we can have another fish. So guys, just had trout number 2. He's a very small little guy, but they all count. Did he? Barely bigger than the fly. We'll get him back. It's all good sport. Well guys, it's been a challenging morning so far. We just got back to Lake 3 after having a bite to eat. As you can see, nice bit of glare off the water. Sun's out, so we're going to have a good go at them again. We've got our trusty black fly back on. So it's a firm favourite. We'll see how we can get on. It's nice to be out. Even if the 1 or 2 fish we've caught, one of them wouldn't be big enough for a frying pan, but catch and release, we're not too worried. Just enjoying being out in the sunshine, in this nice last bit of the nice weather we've got before gloomy winter. So we've just got number 3 up on the bank. Look, lovely looking trout, rather feisty, but just came up brilliantly on top. Take a nice little dry fly. So we'll get him back. It's about 2.5 pound. So we've just finished at Withern Mill Trout Farm and Fishery. We've had a good day. 3 fish in total. 2 of them off the top. Yeah, can't really grumble. The day's been nicer than expected. It would have been nice if it had been a bit more overcast. I think it would have fished a bit better. But, you know, we've had a few fish. We've been out for a few hours. We've enjoyed the fresh air and the sunshine. So I best talk about my trip to Cleatham Trout Fishery as well. Because as I said, technology is only as good as the operator. And I'm not very good. Don't really know what's happened, but I've lost a large chunk of the footage, so there's not really much there. I caught 2 fish. I will attach some of the footage because there's a lovely picture. It was a lovely day there and the lake was stunning. There's plenty of fish there. They just weren't feeding that much. It looked like they were, but they weren't interested in any chasing. So unless it landed directly on their head, they didn't take it. So we got a couple, I think offhand, 1.5 pound and a 3.5 pounder. I remember that one because there's no footage on it and I was gutted. I thought I took a lovely picture of it and a lovely footage of me sort of landing it. But by the by, it was just a bit still there. It was like a mill pond, which it would have been fantastic if you was on a boat and enjoying a few pims, but for fishing it didn't really lend itself to fishing that day. So I'll try and have another trip back over there, but it's a bit further away. So if I decide to have an impromptu day fishing, I tend to go to Withern because it's a bit closer. I am looking to spread my wings. I'm not against travelling a little bit, but you just have to plan a bit more in advance, don't you? So yeah, that's another day of fishing. So it's been a challenging morning so far. Tried 3 or 4 different flies. We've had orange hairs here, we've had daddy longlegs, we've tried our trusty black gnat fly. Really struggling. However, had a change onto a red Montana and we've had our first rainbow of the day. Fantastic colours, really lovely fish. So we're going to get him weighed and get him popped back, but that's number 1 at Cleatham Trout Farm. Or fishery I should say, it's not a farm. So while we've just put our first trout back, I thought I'd just give you a quick view of the lake. So it's about 3.5 to 4 acres of water. Really feeding well in this corner down where we've ended up. But there's another 3 chaps, and there's quite a few fish rising, jumping. Seem to be feeding well. But the trusty red Montana just sinking under took a really convincing take. So yeah, really happy. We'll get the fly back out there, see if we can't bring another one in.